In this lesson, we're going to talk about volumes of prisms and cylinders. So if you have a rectangular prism, the volume is length times width times height. So volume now is, think about filling it up. It's 3D now. So you need your length, width times height. You're going to see soon that volume of prism is basically the area of your base times your height. So you're finding the area of the base, and then you're multiplying that by your height. That's basically what you're doing for prisms. And you're multiplying by the height because you're filling up that prism. So you need the area of it and plus the height. That makes it, that's what makes it the 3D. Let's go ahead and use our formula. So we're going to have volume equals length times width times height. So this is very basic that you could get. Just fill up your values. You have the length, 10 times your width, 14 times your height, 4.5. You multiply all three together and your volume is going to equal to 630 inches. Now we're dealing with volume. That's being filled up. That's 3D, so it'll be cubed. Now for any other prism, let's say you have a triangular prism for instance, the volume is just B, the area of the base times your height, like I said. The area of a rectangle is just length times width. That's the base, the area of the base times the height. So now we're going to do a triangular prism. Remember, the height is between the bases. So the triangular base, those are the two I have, those are my bases. So the height between them is 5. That's the height between both of them. So I know I have 5. Now I need to find the area of my base. The area of the base here, you have a triangle. So the area of a triangle is half of the base of the triangle times your height. So to find the area of your triangle, this is the triangle right here, I need the base. So remember, for the definition of a prism, they have two congruent bases. So right here, the top base of the triangle is 12. So that means this part is also going to be 12. So I have half of 12 times my height. The height is right here. It's that vertical height. It's 7.3. When we multiply that all out, my area for the base is 43.8. So that's what we do here. And we multiply it. So you're going to get 219 feet cubed. Volume is 3. Don't put squared, that's for area. So always put 3 for volume. Now let's do the do the volume of a cylinder now. So keep in mind, a cylinder is a type of prism. So how do we find the volume? Same thing. Think of it right here. It's the area of your base. My area of the base is a circle. Area of a circle is pi r squared. So you're still doing the area of your base times your height. So it's the same thing like I was talking about over here. So it's the area of your base times your height. So that's what can make it easier to find volume for prisms and cylinders. So the volume equals the area of the base times my height. I need my radius. This is not a radius because it goes from the center and it goes to endpoints on the circle. So that's not a radius, that's a diameter. So I need half of that. So my radius will give me 5.5. And then the height that connects the bases is 21. And then we go ahead, we'll do our exponents. And I'm going to multiply this all out. And then I'm just going to round to the nearest 100. So when you do that, I want to see exactly what it looks like. You get 1, 9, oops, another 9. $1,995.696, blah, 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 blah. If I want to round to the nearest 100, that's 2 decimal places, I stop right here. Because the number afterwards, it's 5, or it could be greater, you round up. So if I make this 9 plus 1, that gives me 10. So it comes as 0, and I add the 1 right here. So I add 1 to here, that becomes 10, so that's 7. So that's why my volume, if you round to the nearest 100, it'll be 1,995.70 meters cubed. All right, and now let's go ahead and do some mixed problems. So consider the roll of pennies below. The diameter of a penny is 19.05 millimeters. That's important, diameter. And the thickness is 1.52 millimeters. What is the approximate value of the roll of pennies to the nearest tenth? So we're trying to figure out, it's being filled up with all these pennies, this thing. So we're trying to find the volume of it. So this is my cylinder, so I know I need my volume formula, which is area of the base times the height. So the diameter is 19.05. I need my radius. So you're going to take your diameter and divide it by 2. So that's going to give me 9.525 times the height. I know you're tempted to be like, okay, my height is 1.52 millimeters. That's incorrect. Let's go back. You're considering this roll of pennies. 1 penny, the diameter is that, right? So that's the penny diameter, that's fine. That's for the whole thing also. The thickness is only for 1 penny. That's all you're talking about. 1 penny is that. So how many pennies are here? Well, there's 50-cent pennies, so that means there's 50 pennies you have here. So to find right here the height of this cylinder, you're doing 50 times the thickness, because your actual thickness of this whole thing, when you multiply, it's going to give you 76. So please keep aware of that. This is the roll of pennies. You want to find all the roll of pennies. What is the approximate volume of the roll, of the whole roll? Not just 1 penny. That's why you have to multiply by 50 because it's 50 cents in here. So now we could go ahead and multiply by 76. So we're going to go ahead and do our exponents first, and then we're going to go ahead and multiply by pi and 76. Now you get a large decimal, so just go ahead and multiply it all out. After you multiply this, multiply by pi and 76, and your volume is going to be 21,661.74. But we want to round to the nearest tenth. Oops, volume of the pennies. So we're going to round to the nearest tenth here. So tenth is 1 decimal after 1 place after the decimal. That's what I meant. So my volume is, I want to round up, for these pennies is going to be 21,661.7 millimeters cubed. And that's your final answer. So don't be rushed just as soon as you see your numbers put in the formula. Make sure you're actually understanding what is going on with the problem. Okay, so consider a prism with a height of 8 inches and a 14-inch by 14-inch square base, and a cylinder with a height of 10 inches and a diameter of 10 inches. determine the difference in volume between the two solids. So I have a prism, 8 inches, and a 14-inch by 40-inch square base. Then I have a cylinder, height of 10 inches and a diameter 10 inches. What am I looking for? Determine the difference. Difference means you're going to be subtracting them. Okay, so in order for me to find the difference of volume, you actually have to find the volume of the prism first, then go ahead and find the volume of the cylinder, and then you're going to subtract them. Okay, so we're going to do volume of prism. So it's length times width times height. Has a height of 8, and then the base is a 14 by 14. So that's why it's 14, the base, the area of the base, times your height, which was 8. So the volume of the prism is 1,568 inches cubed. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and find the volume of the cylinder. So to find the volume, it's the area of the base, which is pi r squared times the height. That's how you find the volume. So that pi, do they give me a radius? No, they give me a diameter. So if diameter is 10, I need to find half of that for the radius. It's going to be 5. And then the height, they told me was 10. So square 25, so that'll be 250 times pi, and you'll get 785.398, and it keeps going, inches squared. I want to round, doesn't say about round to the nearest hundreds, so I'll have 785. This makes it go higher, one higher, so it's going to give you 40. Oh, not squared, cubed. So that's the volume of my cylinder. To find the difference, all you're going to do is subtract. The big one, the big number minus the small one. So you have 1,568 minus 785.40. So the difference of the volumes will be 782.60 inches cubed. That's the difference. Next, a tank on the road roller is filled with water to make the roller heavy. The tank is a cylinder that has a height of 6 feet and a radius of 2 feet. Since 1 cubic foot of water weighs 62.5 pounds, determine the weight of the water in a full tank. So we know the shape is a cylinder. Height is 6 feet, radius 2 feet. 1 cubic foot of water weighs 62.5 pounds. So 1 cubic foot, we're looking for the weight of the water in a full tank. That's what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and write the volume of a cylinder, pi r squared times height. A radius is given is 2, and my height is 6. So we have 4 times 6, that's 24 times pi. Now we're going to approximate it, so it's going to be 75.3982, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to round to the nearest hundred, so it's about, goes up again, so 75.40, and this is feet cubed. That's approximately what we have. So 1 cubic foot of water weighs 62.5 pounds. So how much, determine the weight of water in a full tank. This is the full tank. So how much would you do? So all you're doing, you're multiplying your full tank by 62.5 pounds. And if you want to see visual, like a proportion, I could show you that as well. So 1 cubic foot of water is 1 cubic foot of water equals 62.5 pounds. So if you want to know how much pounds yours is, I'll put feet cubed, right? And then you want to know how much pounds. So then you would cross multiply. So you have x equals, see, notice all you're doing is multiplying. You're multiplying your weight. I'm sorry, yeah, your weight, you're multiplying to that volume. So like I just said, all you're doing is just multiplying. So the weight of the water in a full tank is 4,712.50 pounds. Okay, so you could do a proportion, or if you just see it, you just multiply. That's basically what you're doing. And last but not least, the volume of a rectangular prism is 655.2 feet cubed. If the base of the prism is 9 feet by 5.2 feet, find the height of the prism. So, volume, rectangular prism, that's how much it is. The base of the prism, base is 9 feet by 5.2 feet. We want to find the height. Find the height. So because I know it's a rectangular prism, my volume is length times width times height. So they told me the volume is 655.2 cubic feet. So I'm going to replace that with V. That's my volume. My length, so it's 9 by 5.2, so that's the base. Remember, that's the area of the base, length times width. So 9 times 5.2. And I'm looking for H. And I'm looking for my pen. Okay, so I'm looking for H. That's what I'm trying to solve for. So it makes sense, that's the only thing I have. I want H by itself, right? But this is, two numbers are being multiplied, so let's simplify that. You get 46.8 H. So if I want H by itself, that's a decimal, looks like it's being multiplied, but it's a decimal. If I want H by itself, this is just your coefficients being multiplied to H. So the opposite, we're just going to divide. So when we divide, we get 14 is my height. And we need units. So this was in feet. Now, I know you might be tempted to only put cubed. No, you only put cubed, an exponent of 3, only if you're dealing with volume. This is just the height. That's the dimension. So it's going to be 14 feet. And that's how we find the volume of prisms and cylinders.